שעה. אוקיי. זה יתחיל את מעשיך, זה מוסף, שישון. זה היום, תחיל את מעשיך, זה כל היום ראשון. It's not a pasuk, it's the tefillas musaf. It's part of the tefillas musaf. On Gemara. In the Tzayin, it's defining Rosh Hashanah as tefillas maasecha and as zikar name Rishon. What does this mean? The past tefillas maasecha would mean that it's the beginning of creation, which happened years ago. And he adds zikar name Rishon as a remembrance to the first day of creation. What's the double lashon? What's the Rebbe is going to learn to teach us how to learn this Maamer Chazal. This Maamer Chazal. Daik had not some upset about Yom Elad is the year of Rosh Hashanah. Tzedek is medayik the Maamer. The Mechuri is going to steal him. Initially, say seemingly there's a steal from the beginning of this Maamer Chazal to the end of the Maamer Chazal. From the beginning of the tefillah to the end of the tefillah. Why? The Pirush Zayim Tchilas Maasecha. What's the meaning today? Is the beginning of the actions. Tchila Mamish, Mamish the beginning. Who? Shebereish Hashanah Zayim Hu Atcholos Yisavos Kol Eilos. It's the beginning of the creation. Not just it's a remembrance to the beginning of creation. Actually, it's happening. The creation is happening. Every Rosh Hashanah is happening. The creation is happening anew. The beginning of creation is happening anew. Every Rosh Hashanah, all worlds are being created, not just our world. All worlds are being created anew, just like it was in the first time of creation. That's Zayin Tchilas Maasecha. Peter is currently a mission who was this saying is currently a mission, which means Shoshana Rak Zikordly a mission. It's only a remembrance of the first day of creation, not that actually it's happening. So the Chortza still. Besides that, once you say there's already creation, you have to say it's a remembrance. It's a stira posh. It's a contradiction. So Mavarba says, so the Rebbe Tzedek explains, in Rosh Hashanah Yeshem Shnei Inyonim. Rosh Hashanah has two things. Firstly, Shu Tchilas Maasecha, as the beginning of creation, actually the beginning of all creations, and also Shu Zikar L'Yim. And he says, the fact that we say it's the beginning of the creation. Then we add, not only that, it's more than that. Shu Zikar L'Yim Rishon, it's a remembrance to the first day of creation, Muchach, but this is proven. This Rosh Hashanah is a remembrance. The first day of creation is even greater than the fact that it's the beginning of the actions. Which is the fact that it's created today is lower than the fact that it's a remembrance. This we have to understand. He didn't explain it yet. That's the Hemshech HaMayim. He's going to explain. What does it mean actually that remembering creation of the first day is even greater than the happening of creation anew every Rosh Hashanah. Yuvan Zeh, to understand this will be understood. Bahagdim, the first thing to do is Abir Bezeh. What's the explanation of this She'emim Alayim Rosh Hashanah? Why do we say about the day of Rosh Hashanah? Zeh Ayim Tchilas Maasecha. Today is the beginning of your actions. Do you do Hashayla Bezeh? That's no. The question is, Harei B'Chafei Be'el Nibrei Elam. The world is created on Chafei El. Rosh Hashanah Yem Brei Adam Rishon. Rosh Hashanah is the day of Adam Rishon's creation. So why do we say Shu Yevav L'Ma'aseh Bereishis is the sixth day of creation? Shaboy Yosef U'Gemara Bri. That was the end and the completion of creation. How can you say possibly say about this day that this is the beginning of creation? It's not the beginning; it's the end. That's the question. All the Maamar from all the Rabbein. The Rebbe brings somewhere. Now the Maamar, the Rebbe says, like the Alter Rebbe is medayik, the middle level, the Tzemach Tzedek, the Marash, the Rashav, the Frierdiker, all the Rabbein are medayik. This question, the Chorah Rosh Hashanah, should be on Chafei El, because that's the beginning of creation. How can you say Zayim Tchilas Maasecha of the Yom Vov? Birba says, explanation to this is the Tach, the Sakavon, the Bris Elamu. What's the goal of creation? What's the ultimate purpose of creation? That Sheiyah be Gilei Elokus, that the aim should be revealed in the world. It's not just that there should be a creation of the world, there should be a Gilei Elokus in the world. Not just the cloud should be Gilei Elokus, Va'ad, Shaydei Kol, Pratu Prat Sheba Bri, is Galak Vedish Elokus Baruch. So we say that every single detail of the creation should reveal the Eibsh's covenant. Every single iota of existence should reveal the Eibsh's covenant. Like it says in the end of the office, everything that the Eibsh's created is only here in order to be Megal the Eibsh's covenant. And who reveals this? Who reveals this is through the Aveda of the person. So that's what the goal of creation. Okay, now we'll understand why aiming we say al hayom the Rosh Hashanah zayim tchilas masech. Why do we say in the day of Rosh Hashanah that this is the beginning of your actions? Why? Ki inyan zeh shehi gila l'kus be'elam. Because this inyan that should be gila l'kus in the world, shehu ha'mechuven masech, which that's the goal of creation. Hus chal b'yem brei adam. That started on the day that Adam was created. So that's the pshat zayim tchilas masech. Means zayim tchilas ha'mechuven masech. That the goal of creation started on this day. Was that besides the fact besides the fact that only then was the possibility that there should be gilukus from the world because the Adam was created. Nasa Adam, Nasa as Cain, Gam Bepel, actually happened on this day. Chazal tell us that Adam should be Yem Sheniv, right the day that he was created, is Hichris, L'chol Abrim, proclaimed to all the creations, Beyu, come and Nishtachim v'Nichra, Nivrachol L'fnei Havayis, and come will kneel for Hashem, our Creator. The Lashon Chassidus, since it says "Beyu come," that means they should also come from themselves. They should be enjoying the fact that they're bottled to the The Kulam Anu ve'Amru Hashem Malach Yisrael. Everyone answered and said, proclaimed that the Eibush is king. So this happened on the first day. On the first day, Adam Rishon was around. So it's not only that there's a possibility to bring Gilul L'kus in the world; it actually happened Gilul L'kus in the world. Shleimar said the Rebbe. So according to this, it should have said Zayim Tchol Samachuv the Masecha. Why does it say Zayim Tchilas Masecha? Shleimar says the Rebbe to answer this question. Zayim Tchilas Masecha. Why do you say that the day is the day of the beginning of your actions? Agam Sheshon L'Chur Rakat Tchol Samachuv the Masecha. L'Chur is only the beginning of the Mechuv of Masecha. Now Kim Megal L'Kus in the world. That's the goal of creation. After this is Gulu Ki Ma'aseh Made Al Hashleimus. Action shows on Shleimus. Just by a person. A shleim is the kol inyan hu sheba bepeil dafke. What's the shleims of everything? You can speak about it, you can huff and puff, you can do all excited about it. But if it doesn't come down peil mamish, it's not b'shleimus. So the tachas shleimus is only when it comes to peil mamish. Derech zehu gam l'mayla. Same thing by the Eibishter. Adrab, the Rebbe says, mizen is shtal shekin gam adam atachnu. The fact that by the Eibishter is the ultimate goal is Maaseh, that's what makes it, that's what causes that the person should also be like that. Adam is Adam Elyon. He's similar to the Eibishter. Everything he has is coming from Hashem. So what do we say? Shleim is the whole Seder Shtaus by the Eibishter, he b'asiyah davke. Is davke nasiyah, el masiyah. Zehu, now we'll understand why we say Zayim Tchilas Maasecha. The beginning of Maasecha. The Maaseh made Allah Shleimes. Maaseh shows on Shleimes that we say, when is the Shleimes of the Bria is only when Rosh Hashanah, when Adam Rishon was created. Yem the Rosh Hashanah, Yem Bria Adam Rishon, who at Chol HaShleimes HaBria, the beginning of the Shleimes of the Bria. So Zayim Tchilas Maasecha the Shleimes. Now we know Maasecha means Shleimes, because the Tachs the Shleimes of everything when it comes to Maaseh. So when we say Tchilas Maasecha, it's the beginning of the Shleimes. When is the beginning of the Shleimes? So we don't say Tchilas HaMechuv in the Maasecha. The Maaseh itself means the idea of Shleimus. So we don't have to add the word Mechuvenet. The Maaseh itself means Shleimus. Which that is when you have Gilul L'Kus in the world. Shleimar, Zeo Gama Tam Al Zeh Sheshon Nikra Kam. This is also the reason why Rosh Hashanah is called over here Behemshech T'Tchilas Maasecha B'Shem Zayim. Behemshech T'Tchilas, the word T'Tchilas Maasecha, it says it's called Zayim T'Tchilas Maasecha. That we call Rosh Hashanah Zayim. Why is Rosh Hashanah called Zayim? There's other ways to call it. Because it says Rosh Hashanah T'Tchilas Maasecha. Why is Zayim both? So he says Zayim Hu Gili B'Tachlis, the ultimate revelation. Zeh made al Gili. The word Zeh shows on revelation. You show with your finger, you point with your finger, and you show this is it. And V'yem made al Gili. And day is the daytime is the Gili. Kamishkos v'ikol kim le'er Yem. Er is the in of Yem. The Zeh Hayem Bezel Shein Shel Gili. Hu Tachlis, the ultimate revelation. Zayim Tchilas Maasecha. Now we know why we call Rosh Hashanah Zayim, and that's Tchilas Maasecha, the beginning of the Shleimus. Zeh Rosh Hashanah Tchilas Maasecha. Why is Rosh Hashanah the beginning of the Shleimus? That called Shleimus Abriya. Who is because Shaz Hiskal Ina Gilui. Then started the revelation. Which revelation? She says the idea of Edos Shalom Rishna is a Gilul L'Kus Be'el. Through the Aved of Adam became a revelation of the Eibush in the world. In Zayim, the concept of Zayim, the ultimate Gilui, not Stam Gilui, the Gilui of Zayim. Which that's the ultimate Gilui. Like that brings the orders that before that was the level of Koi, which is other Mamar, which explain very high levels about the first day of creation, mission. The first day of creation, the Eibush was Yochid Be'ilami, that's what it's called Vayar Vayveker Yem Echad, it doesn't say Mirishin, but the Eibush is Yochid Be'ilami, it's very high levels. But Supumnish to the revelation which happened through the Aved of Adam Rishon, it's even higher than that. And that's Zayim, Tchilas Masech, that's the ultimate of creation, and that happened, Tchilas Masech, the beginning of this, happens through the Aveda of Adam Rishon. Now the Rebbe is going to take it even a step further. The fact that we say the Rosh Hashanah, the day of Adam Rishon's creation, is the beginning of your actions, but in a deeper level, it's known that a person's Aveda has the power to change the past. Like a person does tshuva, he can change his past. And that brings in order 20, the Neis, if was that. Should be called Lashanis is over Shalei. Besides, he can change his own past. Hashov me'ave neker avena mitchilose. When a person does tshuva me'ave, this avenas are neker mitchilose. It becomes his deinis, nice like his zochies. And the other places the Rebbe says that every tshuva be'etzim has this inyan of his deinis, nice like his zochies. Because any tshuva, why did he do tshuva? Because he was in a far place. Because he was far away. And like the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, since every level of tshuva is an outcome from the Avedis, that caused them they should search and yearn for Hashem. So Mele, every tshuva really makes his deinis kizochas. It says in Gemara, tshuva me'av, tshuva me'yir, kam tshuva me'av, kam tshuva me'yir. So the Rebbe answers. It's a certain level of, it's a different mind, not over here, a different mind the Rebbe speaks about. In any case. The Rebbe adds, now, besides the fact you change your own past, the person has empowered to transform the past of the world outside of him. Like it says, he could transform and make as if the person had known the daughter. Or best to make the Ibra Shon and make it extra Adar, and even if she lost the Psulim because she was 3, but now they decide that she's not 3 yet, she becomes as if she was younger than 3. Because Bezdin has the power to change the past. So he says over here, from this we understand for sure, in regard to Adam Rishon, he was created by the Eibsh's hands, the Eibsh himself formed him. The advantage that he had affected in all creatures through proclaiming that you should bow down for the Eibshar Maker is not only from now on, it's also to what they existed before. Why? Why was the world created? What's the mechuvin? What's the goal of its creation? So its whole being is here waiting for the automation to change him, to transform him, to make him a shach to the Eibshter. And if not, he doesn't exist. He has no reason to be. So after the automation through his Aveda was Mekala Lukus in the world, through saying Bein Shach from the Kra, nice Eloi Eloi gab him Tzis Elam Shoya Lifneisa. What's his whole being of the world is only a preparation to, like it says, like it brings out that the whole creation is only here to reveal the Eibshter. That's what the world's created. Why is the Shoshana the beginning of this Gilul? Of course, if the world's already from before here for it to be Megalal, of course. It brings in order 23. Why is the Shoshana the beginning of your creation, the beginning of Gilul? Of course, it was right in the beginning already when the Eibush created it. It was here only for this purpose. The world, what's Pshat Avelt? Avelt, the Pshat Samayim Mamas, the not revealing of the Eibshter. Had the Inyan Zeg Guf, Shemetzis Elam Shalif Navedis Adam Achon Lagil Shlachas Hu Bei Behelam. So this in itself was not revealed in the world. We say not only it's not revealed, Shebe'elam Tzadat Lifnei Avedis Adam, then the world on its own, before the Aved of a person, Lifnei Brias Adam, before the person is created, Ein Shayach Shaziyah Begil. It's impossible it should be revealed. Shegam Agil, the Metzius Elam Ba'avar, Shnasim Rosh Hashanah, Ovev Shal Chidush. So even something that was already in the world from before, that the world is here for the Bimagala Lakus in it, is a Chiddush. Will never come to be if not for the Aved of the person. The world in Tzadatzme is Helma Hester. So the fact that he's here for the person is not revealed in him. He's here for the Aved of the person, here to be Megala Lakus, is not revealed in the world. Although that's his Metzias, but that's not revealed in him. And therefore it's considered Tchilas Masech, a new thing that he made. Zeo, says the Rebbe, Zeo, Mashayim Di Rosh Hashanah Yim B'rei Adam Rishon, Tchilas Maasecha. That's why the day Adam Rishon was created, that's the beginning of all creations. The Pirush HaPoshut, they mean Yitzim, they Pshutei. The simple meaning of Tchilas Maasecha is that Tchilas Maasecha Atchol is Kol HaMaisim. all creations. Even the actions that came to existence in the 5 first days of creation, and not only that, even the time of the 5 days, which is an Edel Metzius, or whatever the explanation is, what he has to explain, not just the action that he made in those 5 days, the time of the 5 days. The time is something we don't touch, we don't affect. So he says even that was affected by the Aved of Adam Rishon. Why? Through his Aved, he elevated and made a new way of existence to the world which existed before. Now is the beginning of the whole creation. The whole creation comes to existence on this day. Just like the first Rosh Hashanah. When was created, the world came to completion. מעשיך, was a new thing for the world. It's something that didn't have in it before, even though it had it, but it was hidden in such a way that it wasn't shy that it should be revealed. So therefore, it was a chiddush in it. Every single year, the same thing is anew. That we're making something new to the world. We're creating a new world. We're making a new world, a new reality to the world wouldn't have with our Avedis. That Yid makes the Eibishter king over him. And over the whole world. He davens and begs the Eibishter to be king over the whole world. That the whole creation becomes a new creation. The Eibishter also, so to speak, becomes new. All the Madriks Lamail also become new. It's dependent on the person. Whatever he does, he transforms the Lamaila. So it's actually changing, not just our world, all the worlds is changing. After he says Zayim Tchus Masech, which is a very high level, creating the world, a new reality, he adds a new level. There's more than that. There's a Karli mission. The fact that Shoshana is a remembrance to the first day of creation is even higher than the fact that it's a new creation. Why? So he says like this: what's Tchilas Masecha? Hashleimus v'achidush da'abriya shenaitzu adei avedus adam. That's the chiddush in the bria which happens through his aveda, through him serving the Eibishter and being megal l'kus in the world. How much l'kus is megal? Is megal according to what he does. The hamshachah that he brings from the Eibishter according through his aveda is only from a level that Yisus Sata could reach to. But the inyan of Yem Rishon is a different level altogether. What was the hamshachah on the first day of creation? So mitzad atzmei, the Eibishter revealed himself not because someone was made the Eibishter to be mizgala. Not if he erech the Aveda. The Eibishter was mizgala on his turn. Not just there wasn't a bepeil Aveda, and late actually there's no people. And late actually bepeil, so it's really coming from a high place. Not because he knows that eventually there's going to be someone doing Aveda, therefore there was no people. Mitzad Chazdi is Baruch. The Eibishter gave his Amshach Mitzad his Chesed. Ki Chofetz Chesed. Not Stam Chesed, Chofetz Chesed. Hainu the Neis, if let's say the Rebbe Taish. What's the Taish Chofetz Chesed? Hainu the Neis, if let's say besides the fact Amshach Achshav by this Rusal Sateh B'chins Dinu Mishpat. Today when we have Amshach from Dinu Kos, it's Dinu Mishpat. We have to deserve it. Amshach so it's Mitzad Chazdi is Baruch. As opposed to then, the Amshach was Mitzad Eibishter's kindness, which means it's not Lefi Erech what we deserve. Elam Chesed Yibon. So besides that, the Neisiv was Chesed Zed Yim Rishon Olamailo. It's higher. This Chesed of the first day of creation was higher. Leirak, not only it's higher Me'ach Chesed K'meishu B'Midas. It's higher than Chesed waits in Midas. Alagam Lamailo Mishorshi K'meishu B'Mechin. It's even higher than Chesed waits in Mechin. Higher than that. V'Chulu. It's even higher than V'Chulu. Higher than the Rotz L'Chura. It's even higher than Rotz. It's Tainu. Kinyonu. What is this Chesed? Lei Chesed, el Chofetz Chesed. It's not Stam Chesed. It's Chofetz Chesed. In a Chefetz Tainug, the Eibishter has a geschmack in it. Tainug is the essence of the Eibishter. It's not the essence, whatever, it's Giluim, but it's the highest level. El Shach Chefetz Hu Sheyiyeh Chesed. What does he desire? What does he have a geschmack? There should be Chesed. This came from the fact that he wanted chesed. From this made the idea of the world should be created by chesed. From this chayfetz became chesed, from that came the world. So this is the creation of the world, first day, not according to what we could accomplish, what we deserve. The Eibishter gives himself over to us. He's Megal himself. He's not just Bechal himself the way he's in Midas, even hiding that in Mechin, even hiding that in Rotzen, hiding that in Tainuk. Which over there, there's no Smogat the Metziz Bechal. There's no source of Sat, like he's going to say. What's the inner reason why it's called the Yom Rishon? Of course it's the first day, but why is it called the Pnim is the Yom Rishon? Because the revelation of Chafetz Chesed was shining, which was revealed in this day. It's the first revelation. It's the first revelation of the Eibishter. Chafetz Chesed is the first revelation. Now we know what Yom Rishon means, the first revelation. So what's Zikaron Yom Rishon? Besides the fact that Tchilus we say the Zikaron Yom Rishon, the Bechol Reish Hashanah, every Reish Hashanah, Aidei Shemaskirim Eifen Aisava Shahoysa B'Yom HaRishon, through a Yid mentions the way of creation that was on the first day, which was Sheheiros Agil the Chafetz Chesed, that the Eibishter revealed, created the world not because of our Aveda, only because he wanted. As he take it got that timing in them. So now we're creating we're revealing this connection of the Eibishter to the world the way it was in the first day of creation. That's the type of calling Mishnah. He first reveals the Eibishter according to what he could do. Then he realizes that the Eibishter is much higher than what he could do. So let's remember how the Eibishter created the world, Yom Rishon, which is beyond our Aveda, beyond what we could accomplish. Where we have no erech. Now we'll understand why this. The fact that we say Shoshana is Zikaron Mission is higher than this that we say Shoshana is Tchilus Masecha. Ki Tchilus Masecha hu ma shenim shechad yisus l'sat. Tchilus Masecha is something which comes down through our Aveda. The Yom Rishon Agil the Chafetz Chesed hu Eir v'Gil HaRishon shu Hashesh v'Sibel Chol Seidish Shtalsh T'maylo Mata. As opposed to Yom Rishon, that's the Gil of Chafetz Chesed is the first revelation, which is sourced to the whole Seidish Shtalshus of Maila and Mata together. It's higher than the whole Yin of Eila V'Sat. It's not even together Eila also not. It's higher than the whole gather of Maila Mata. He creates them. What's the say to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hine says the Rebbe, how could we be made at this level? If it's such a level which is higher than Chafetz Chesed, which means there's no Isurus L'Sat could be made at it, how come our Aveda is saying Zikaron L'Yom Rishon, those three words, by saying Musaf Rishonah, we say Zikaron L'Yom Rishon, we're mentioning the way the creation was on the first day, this actually brings down this Gilui of Chafetz Chesed. That's like you said before in the last paragraph. How does that happen? How does that work? If it's higher than Isurus L'Sat, how does it work? So Hine Sifei. This is that Yid through their Aveda. What's the Aveda of a Yid? He remembers the way of creation, the way it was the first day, that he had no value. The Eibishter created only because he wanted. That is Aveda, which is an Aveda in its own. And Mamshichim Hagilei Anal, that's Mamsh this revelation. And Magia B'Shor She'ad B'Chafetz Chesed V'Tzad Atzmei V'Ein Isurus L'Sat Magas Shom. And it could reach to source, till Chavos Chesed Tzad Hatzmei, and which means the Eibishter wants on his own term. And the Isurus L'Sat cannot reach there, so why a Yid Truz Aveda could reach there? If Isurus L'Sat doesn't reach, how could a Yid Truz Aveda reach there? The answer to this is key, because Hashesh Yisrael Ulomayli Yeser Gama Yin the Chavos Chesed. The Shesh of a Yid is even higher than Chavos Chesed. So that's why he could reach there. He's higher than Chavos Chesed also. Ki Yidua, like it's known Be'inyan, Be'minim Lach Meshusei Shal Tzadikim. With whom the Eibishter, so to speak, rechen sich, speak over it, consult. To whom did he consult to create the world with the Neshamos of Tzaddikim, which is referring to V'amech Kulam Tzaddikim, every single Jew. Zeh she'zeh k'viyochel is Chavos Chesed. This that the Eibishter. How do you say this to have Chavos Chesed, which is also a Gilui, is who mitzad zeh, that itself is also b'minim lach. Who did he consult? That he should have the Yisraelis of Chavos Chesed had a reason. ומצד זה שאול במחשבה עצמי שלמעלה מהגילוי לחפץ חסד, is because he had a machshava atzmis, which means thinking about himself, which is higher than Chavetz Chesed, that what? Sha'asini Yisrael l'kaim teinim mitzvahs, that he's not going to be doing teinim mitzvahs, v'las is little lays bottom b'tachteinim, and therefore it's worth it to have Chavetz Chesed. So that's where Yid is mushish. Yid is mushish to machshava atzmis. Machshava atzmis chesh b'davar azulas, whatever it means. But it's in thinking about himself, like a child, which is part and parcel of the person himself. And what is he thinking about? They think about the doing of teinim mitzvahs, and that caused the Chavetz Chesed. Therefore, if a Yid does that, he could bring down and make the Gil of Chavetz Chesed. Then move on. Now that Rebbe takes it further, that really today's Zikaron Rishon is higher than the Yom Rishon the way it was in the Yom Rishon.
The thing about it,
the mean nimlach is olav machshava. The mean nimlach, what's that nimlach? It's chibik etach from the Neshama Yisrael, that he saw that it's going to be in the Neshama Yisrael. They're going to do teinim mitzvahs. They're going to accomplish, make a din b'tachteinim, so it's worth it to make a world. Therefore, Chavetz Chesed, there should be a world. That's the mean nimlach. Don't touch. And what touch Neshama Yisrael? He saw that it's going to be in the Neshama Yisrael, doing teinim mitzvahs, to make a din b'tachteinim. That's touch. Chur, that's the mean nimlach. Yeah, that's the chur. Move on. This is understood. The Rebbe takes a step further. It's not only it's a Karlan mission, it's more than that. Here the Rebbe is going to say that it's a little Zayim Tchus Masech as a Karlan mission is not like the way he said before. Zayim Tchus Masech is one level, and his Karlan mission is a higher level. He's going to put together the whole thing in one sentence. It's like a third level. Move on. Shagil the Chavetz Chesed Shnai Sachshav V'Dei Maseinu V'Vedaseinu Hu Naile Yesir Mikmei Gil Zeh B'Tchilas Habriyah. Today's Chavetz Chesed, that through our Aveda, that where a person remembers the Aveda, the Asavas, the way it was on the first day, is even greater than this revelation was in the beginning of creation. Why? A person does toils and does Aveda. Now he makes a Nachsruch for the Eibishter. The fact that a person realizes that the creation has no value, and the Eibishter created only because he decided, so that's an Aveda in itself. The Rebbe explains when they get to the Rishon Shcholis B'Shabbos, how can you don't have no Tkiyah Shefer? We're missing out the Aveda of Tkiyah Shefer. So the Rebbe explains the not blowing Shefer, Nish Dam Tkiyah Shefer is a deeper Aveda than yet blowing Shefer. Same idea here, the person realizes, you could connect it. Same idea that the person realizes that it's in value what he does. And the Gabi the Eibishter has no erech. Therefore, for example, the Eibishter, just because he decided he wants to create the world, therefore the world's here. That's Chavetz Chesed. The Eibishter wanted. Chazdei is borch. Not because there's an erech to the world. And a person does this Aveda, is now the Chavetz Chesed is even higher than it was in the beginning of creation. Why? The Eibishter has a geschmack in this. The Eibishter has a timing in it. The Nachsruch, the timing is nicer than Tzeni. Aidei Yisrael, who bat Smusi is borch. Nachsruch lefon nai. Shalamaylam atayim Chavetz Chesed. So today's Chavetz Chesed is not Nimshach from Chavetz Chesed, Nimshach the tiny from Atzmus. By day, Shagil Chavetz Chesed, the Seder of Nimshach David Sodom, Nimshach Bey, and Achzur, but tiny, the nicer saying today's Gil Chavetz Chesed is happening through the Aveda of a person. Since it's happening through the person's Aveda, to the Aveda of a Yid, so now the Gil Chavetz Chesed is not Stam Gil Chavetz Chesed. It's Gil Chavetz Chesed, which the Eibush has a tiny to do it. Right away in Sivav, the Rebbe asked the question, the first time also was through all of Machshavte, that Asidim social mitzvahs, and that's why he had the Chavetz Chesed. So what's the Chiddush of today that it happens through Aveda? Then it was also through Aveda. So the Rebbe is going to answer, there's the Aveda Bepeil, and there's the Aveda the way all of Machshavah. And the right that there's an advantage in Aveda Bepeil, but all right, the Eibush Taka made the world. If the Eibush had already did Tachtein in his Machshavah, why do you make the world? Muslim Zog is the upside advantage. Alright, he did it. That's the Sivov. Just the Shail which just comes right away to thought when you're learning this thing. Zog, I'm a Pnimi al Zeh, Shalifnei, Sheimim, Shoshanu, Zikaron Leim Rishon, Eimim, Shotchils Masech. This is also the inner reason why. And before you tell, we say that Shoshanu is Zikaron Leim Rishon, we say that it's Tchilas Masecho. Here it's mashma that Zayim Tchilas Masecho is greater than Zikaron Leim Rishon. Zikaron Leim Rishon shall achrik dimus in the Tchilas Masecho, because when Zikaron Leim Rishon comes after the in of Tchilas Masecho, which means Hamshoch Sagil Chavetz Chesed shall achrik dimus haveda So it's a greater level than it would be on its own. The way it was in the beginning of creation. Today, it's the Korlim Rishon, Tchils Masecha dik is the Korlim Rishon. It's a Aveda dik is the Korlim Rishon. Therefore, it's connected with the Tainig Atzmi. So that, we go weiter. What's the story?
Well, we're never going to finish if you don't go weiter.
So we'll do one more sif. Okay.
Whatever, it's up to you.
No problem. I don't want to go too fast, too slow, whatever.
Perfect.
Okay, let's go weiter. One more sif. Okay.
One more.
Okay. V'agam shegam agil l'chovitz chas shoyet tchila. The rest I won't finish before Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. V'agam shegam agil l'chovitz chas shoyet tchila sheisham shechosim ataynik atzmi v'avidas v'shli Yisrael. We mentioned before this question. We'll just learn it inside. Although that also the revelation of Chavetz Chesed that was in the beginning of creation. Where does it come from? It stems from the Tainik Atzmi Naved of Yid, the canal. Shazeu Asibel as Eshen Seili is Chavetz Chesed. Why did Eibush have Chavetz Chesed? Because he has a Tainik Naved of Yid. Mikoma came. David does Yisrael bepeil and takes Avil and Naila Yesa. It's even greater. What's the raya? Kamuven. That brings a proof. Kamuven Mizeh. They shatush like one of these have because work is this work do tachtenim in order that we should actually have the Shlom is a kavana. Don't this have because work do tachtenim. Who should please bring sales bepel. You have to create the world bepel mamish. Adelim has atachtet till this world that we're in. V'achar chut should please matan teira. And then I have the matan teira. Shows the Afghan I take you the kiyim. Counter to the way we think what's matan teira. The Rebbe says what's matan teira. The Welt geworden a starker Welt. Gemar mit der Apostel gehört zu Yalav Shakota. Then you have to have learn doing the Aveda V'Yid B'Peil in the world, which consists of Limud HaTeira, learning Teira, obey for the God, the Limud Shemevil L'Maisa, that you bring action, the Kiyum HaMitzvahs B'Peil, Av Shekol Zahoy B'D Yosef Machshatis Baruch Gami Kedem. The Eibush knew about all this before. And Kechos HaPeil, like we say, the Eibush, everything includes in existence already. Umachshov v'zu that they thought about this all before. He has civilization say li is Chavetz Chesed. That's the cause why he had b'chlal Chavetz Chesed. So the Chorah, what's the advantage? So he says the Chorah. What do we say through our Aveda B'Peil? There's an advantage. So he says the fact that it's greater is the fact that the Eibush actually had it, although he wanted to make our world, although that he had it already before in his machshava. But what's the gain now? The gain is so what's the gain? The gain through our Aveda B'Peil is there's a greater gain in the Chavetz Chesed that gets even greater than it was before. Why? The machshava that was existing before creation, before Chavetz Chesed, Taki thought already about the Elamis and he thought about the Aveda of the Shom Yisrael, but it's a machshava atzmis. Shabatzmus is baruch. Shalamayla Megillah. What does this mean? It means that it wasn't integrated into the Chavetz Chesed. The Chavetz Chesed happened because of he sees that there's going to be a Dirib Tachtenim. But the Dirib Tachtenim, the Tainig Atzmi and Dirib Tachtenim, Machshava Atzmi about Dirib Tachtenim, was not part, what didn't become connected with the Chavetz Chesed, like it says in the brackets. The thought of the Eibush is Machshava Atzmi, the Eibush thinking about himself, thinking about the Tainig of a Yid, his Aveda, which that's the Tainig Atzmi, was stayed within himself. The Chavetz Chesed didn't come down into Chavetz Chesed. Chavetz Chesed stays separate. What it was Chavetz Chesed Mitzad Atzmi is only the Chayfetz in Geluyim, not Amshachas Ha'etzem. By the Aveda Sodom B'Peil, Hashem through our Aveda B'Peil, Nase Gilei Atzmas. Why? Which did a Leisbar Leila Atzmusei. Today we have the Gilei Atzmus. Not just it's thanks to Atzmus that the world came to existence, but we don't have the Atzmus in the world. Hashem now when do Aveda we have Gilei Atzmus. The Rebbe says in order 49, this is a strong order. The key in the Zeshin is Savachul Dira, Sha'atzmus Yi Begilu, Shin Sava Batzmusei. Harizeh Sha'atzmus Begilu, Negea Kivyochel Gam Latzmusei. It's Negea Ta'atzmus that it should be Begili. Because this is the only way he'll get what he had a type for. With Atzmus Vil. Atzmus Vil has a Homa Gili Atzmus.
Mein Rabbi, mit Ches fragt er selber Schale, einfach ein bisschen anders.
Ein bisschen anders, ja. Weil Tshuva, wir haben Tzadikim.
Ja, aber Kirch und Peil hat er dort nicht.
Er hat ein Kirch aus der Peil und ich sage, ein Kirch aus der Peil. Ein Kirch aus der Peil.
Ich weiß nicht, aber das ist Peil. Das ist bald schon mit Tzadikim, aber selber Schale fragt er dort.
Ja, ja.
Er hat schon
Schon da, nein, Kol, nein.
sehr schwierig. Sehr abschottet.
Koyach. I know when the next one, because then it's Arabic Kippur.
Shoshana.
Shana Arabic Kippur.
מתכוון,
What? Including the Kippur?